Selling into the bid. Why do I sell into the bid? A lot of people ask me, they say, oh, I put my order on the ask, I wait to get filled, I put it there, and I hope the stock comes up to it. Well, that does not work with these big runners. The problem with these big runners is you'll have these stocks that jump up big, you'll put your shares on the ask, and then all of a sudden a bunch of other people put their shares on the ask, and then the bid starts dropping. So one of the reasons that I usually always sell into the bid is I look for those big spikes. So I'm pretty much looking to get in here. I kind of break this one down or get a chart here pulled up. So basically, looking at GLYC today. So buying this at the break of 11, and then it jumps up to 11.55 here on this candle. So looking to sell there. Where am I going to sell? How am I going to sell? So you can see on level 2, you have the bid, you have the ask. The ask is there at 11.75, the bid's at 11.55. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to sell into that bid push, into the spike basically. And what that allows me to do is I'm going to make sure that I get out. So basically I'm using my hotkey to exit on the bid. So if 11.55 is showing, I see there's a lot of buyers there, I'm going to hotkey out and be out right then and there. If I put my shares on the ask, what happens is all of a sudden the buyers back down. It goes from 11.55 down to 11.40, 11.30, and then I'm chasing the bid basically. And then everyone on the ask is also chasing the bid. So it's really just going to drive the price down. And I'm actually going to always look to sell into the bid. I know a lot of people kind of trade differently. They look at always, trying to sell into the ask or selling on the ask, letting buyers come up and then buy their shares. But the problem with that is on these big runners, you just don't really have time sometimes to sit on the ask and wait. Because if everyone sits on the ask, it kind of scares the buyers away. And you have a bunch of people just sitting there trying to get filled at 11.75. And then, you have the bid down there at 11.65 or 11.55. If you're just waiting there, you might not get filled. If you're trading with a small size, maybe you get filled, but then even then, it's a risk. And that's one of the reasons that I like to sell into the bid. I tell people to always look to sell into the bid. I'm also, on these big runners, I'm buying on the ask, basically, looking for the last share. So if I'm looking to buy at $11 and I see it's at $11.99, I see those shares getting eaten away, I might put my limit order in at 11.01 to get filled there on the break of $11. Today I missed out a couple times doing that. I probably should have bought a little bit earlier, had my limit order in there, and just, sometimes it just jumps up really fast through those resistance breaks. But also, that's one of the things here is we don't want to get stuck with our shares on the ask as the bid is dropping, because as soon as that happens, then the bid and the ask just get this big jump, and you might get left there on the ask without selling any of your shares. So I always stress the idea of selling into the bid on these big momentum plays. If you're trading a stock that's just going steady, just flying higher, is it safe to sell on the ask? Maybe then it is, but on these just big spikes where you're just getting in and out quickly, I'm usually always selling into the bid and making sure that I get filled and get out of the trade and not giving it time to crash down. You can see, this got up to here, 11.55, 11.58, and then from there it's crashed down to 11.07. So if I was sitting there with my shares on the ask at 11.60 or whatever, hoping that it's going to get up there, it's going to crash down and I'm going to miss out. So looking to basically sell into the bid there and take profit when I have it and not just waiting to get filled at a higher price. That's kind of the theory of selling into the bid. It breaks kind of the normal rules of trading. Most people trade, I'm going to wait to get filled at a certain price that I want to get. But, when you're trading these big movers, you got to take what you can get. And if the buyers aren't there and it just all of a sudden starts dropping, you're going to get screwed and you're going to miss out a lot. So I always kind of sell into that bid. If I see the bid is just flying, it's just boom, 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 flying higher. If I put my limit order in at 11.51 and all of a sudden the bid jumps to 11.60, I get filled there at 11.60. So as long as the bid is higher than my limit order, I'm going to get filled. So it's never a bad thing. Sometimes you'll get stuck. I've had it happen a couple times where, I put my limit order in and all of a sudden the bid drops and I don't get filled. It happens, but you're going to have a lot better chance of getting filled when you sell into the bid and not selling at the ask.